think technology and data-driven tools change the way we buy property?
I'm a little bit younger than you guys. I'm of a data generation. We can't buy a product. We're going away on holidays soon. My wife last night was on Amazon and I said, I like that backpack because we need to wear a backpack while we're there to protect all of our stuff. And I said, I like that backpack. And she said, it's only got 1,000 reviews. I'm not joking. She said that.
Only 1,000.
Only got 1,000 reviews,
Not
right?
enough.
Because there's other bags that have 20,000 reviews.
Yeah.
We can't go to a restaurant without looking it up and seeing how many reviews it got. We consume data to make basic decisions now.
Yep.
So data definitely affects the way that we make decisions with purchasing property, the largest asset in our lives. And I was looking at some data the other day because it made me feel old when I looked at realestate.com.au. It was launched in 2004. The website was launched in 2004.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's not a long time ago.
Not a long time ago.
It's just legal enough to drink now, okay? realestate.com.au. The app didn't come out until 2010. The app's 14 years old.
Wow.
I use the realestate.com app more than probably any other app on my phone.
For sure.
And that's not just because I'm a buyer's agent. I know people that are on it all the time. All the time. When they see a for sale sign, they want to look it up. For sale signs now have QR codes. You just you scan it, it takes you straight to realestate.com ad. Google Maps, I used it to get to the studio today. I'm going to use it to get to the airport tomorrow, even though I know how to get to the airport. I use it all the time.
Yep.
Google Maps didn't come out till 2005. And now it's in my phone. I use it every single day. So I think data is a huge influence on nearly every decision I make now. And I don't think it's something you can hide from anymore. The old way of data used to be anecdotal evidence. Your father bought in that suburb, it's a good suburb. Your mother grew up in that area, it's a good area. No actual data, just trust in people's experiences. But now, I mean, some of the things that we look at, historical price growth, NAPLAN scores. NAPLAN didn't come out till 2008. We have clients who live and die by the district and the school catchment zone that their kids can get in.
Yeah.
That wasn't even really a thing a little while ago, right? Looking at things like flood and fire, density levels of a particular location, vacancy rates, all that now is data. You couldn't get that information before. And that helps you make the decision. And we have basically figured out, and we know this, if we purchase a property that performs 1% above the average for that area, it will equate to hundreds of thousands of dollars more in capital growth for our client over the course of a 10-year period.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's the power of data.
Yep. And what's some of the disadvantages
Oh,
of the data?
analysis paralysis, isn't it?
Well, look, ambiguity, confusion, overwhelm. I think all those, there's too much data now. I mean, you Google property investment and you get, 600 million returns back. So it's just overwhelming. It's a super important part of how we go about finding and buying property. The way I think about it is the data element is top down, and there's a whole range of factors that we review, but of equal importance, and there are times when it's actually of more importance, is actually the feet on the street. It's our team of buyers agents. They've lived and breathed and grown up in these major capital cities where we operate, and just their knowledge of suburbs, their knowledge of particular pockets of suburbs, particular areas that might be far more highly desirable than others. Because if you're looking at data and you're looking at it, for example, on a suburb basis, well, it's effectively it's got the data of that suburb rolled up into certain figures, and what it doesn't show you is which particular areas might be better than others, which others are more desirable. And we all know suburbs, Redfern in Sydney is a good example, and it's undergone tremendous gentrification. The eastern side of Redfern was actually always, reasonably good over the last 10 to 20 years. It was the western side of Redfern that was, had a lot of social issues, and and that's changed since, but that's not necessarily reflected accurately in the data, and so it's you can find that kind of thing in a lot of suburbs, and so really having a strong team with strong local knowledge makes such a difference, because all the time we find factors that aren't reflected in the data.
And what I see is very, very common is people will look at a suburb and go, wow, look at this suburb. It's done 15% in the last 12 months. This has got to be a great suburb to buy into. But
All the time.
they're looking at the growth over the last 12 months, 3 years, and they don't understand how cycles work. So they could be buying in at the peak of that market. And the remaining, the next 7 years is only going to get 3 or 4 or 2%, or maybe no growth
or
at
negative.
all. Negative growth. So it's really important to look at the data, analyze it, and make sense of the data itself and longer data sets versus shorter data sets.
I agree. And that's the problem with data because, again, just more stats. 90% of the data in the world that we have today was created in the last 2 years. Every 2 years, it doubles. And your point that we'll finish on is exactly correct, is that everyone's got access to data. Most people don't know how to read it.
Yep.